All right. Welcome back, everyone, and to another episode of Slow Damage. I was about to say Dramatical Murder. I don't know why. What's wrong with me? Anyway, welcome back to Slow Damage. We are at a charity soup kitchen event, so let's get into it. The next day, Taku shook me awake and dragged me out to help with the volunteer soup kitchen event. Yay! But even then, we still couldn't compete with the dozens upon dozens of people who had come to avail themselves of charity. Avail themselves of charity. Some of the volunteers looked like gangsters or host club workers. Some had showed up out of sheer boredom, some were genuinely trying to do some good, while others were just trying to improve their public image. I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter why people help in a soup kitchen as long as they do, right? Then Ray turned up and the soup kitchen began. We ladled pork and veggie soup from a big pot into little styrofoam containers and handed them to each person in line.
あら、村瀬先生、こんにちは。
Oh, if it isn't Dr. Murase. Well, hello there.
どうも、こんにちは。
Nice to see you again.
相変わらず素敵ね。
You're looking quite handsome today. He always looks handsome.
とんでもないです。
You're too kind. I'm very gay. As the locals pass through. I'm sorry. Welcome back to my channel. Jesus. As the locals passed through the line, they all said hello to Taku.
村瀬先生、この間はありがとう。
Thanks for taking a look at me, Dr. Murase.
池山さん、その後、お孫さんの様子はいかがですか？
Oh, Ikeyama-san, how did it go with your grandson?
薬を飲んで寝たらすっかり良くなったみたいでな。先生のおかげだよ。
I gave him the medicine, put him to bed, and he was right as rain the very next day. I can't thank you enough. Why do I sound like Bane? Batman. I don't know. Whatever.
それはよかった。
I'm just glad he's doing better. The locals all deeply appreciated Taku's caring nature. They struck up conversations with him one after another. What a great
あら、
guy.
レイちゃんも手伝ってくれてるのね。
Oh, I see you've got Ray-chan with you today. Ah, I love
はい
you.
お手伝いに来ました
Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm here to help out.
イケメンだから目の保養になるわね。
It's nice to see a handsome face around here.
やだそこは美人って言ってくれないと
Handsome? More like gorgeous, am I right? Absolutely. Girl, you shine. Smiling, Ray raised a limp wrist, and the women all giggled in delight. Yeah, I love this healthy kind of optimism. No, not optimism. Self-love? Ah, shoot. I can't think of the adjective. But you know what I mean, right? I love this. I really do. Like Taku, he had an affable personality that was popular with the locals. Yeah, obviously. Good
Oh.
people.
お前も来てたのか。
Toa, didn't know you were here. Ah! A familiar voice called out to me as I lazily helped with the soup distribution, and I looked up. Why are you here? What? Didn't expect to see you guys here. There stood Kotaro, Mayu, and Eiji.
とは豚汁姿が様になってるね
Toa, you look good with pork soup. I look good regardless, Mayu.
豚汁姿って何ですか
What does that even mean?
知らない
good point.
よ
I don't know.
お前らも来るんだな、こういうイベント。
Wasn't expecting you guys to show up to this kind of thing. Yeah.
そりゃ上からの命令だししょうがないよね
Well, our boss told us to come, so basically we had to.
榊さん意外とこういうの好きですからね顔に似合わず
Believe it or not, Sakaki-san has a fondness for charity events. I mean, I get it, because Sakaki is also the guy that took me in, right? So he seems like the guy for charity.
榊さんの命令じゃ断れねえだろ。ってことで、飼い主待たせてるから行くわ。
And when he says jump, we say how high. Anyway, we gotta get back to our slave master. Sakaki is here? Rolling his eyes, Kotaro stalked off, scratching his head.
ほいじゃとは
Is this Chinese? Sorry, I have no idea what this is. What language is this? Does anyone know? Leave a comment, please, if you know. I'm very curious. See you later, Toa.
失礼します
If you excuse me. Eiji bowed politely, then hurried after Kotaro with Mayu.
最近高里組もこういうボランティアのイベントによく来るようになったわね。やっぱりイメージアップを狙ってるのかしら。
The Takasato Gumi's been really getting involved with this kind of stuff lately. Maybe it's some kind of PR thing. Blah, I can't speak. Jesus. Ray gazed after the three stooges as he stirred the soup pot.
榊が次期組長の座でも狙ってるんじゃないのか。
I figure Sakaki's gunning for the top spot. Oh. To me, it was a pretty casual topic, but Ray frowned awkwardly. He probably felt bad that my father died or something. So everyone just knows who we are? And he's just like, yeah, whatever. Like, sorry, but I feel like there's so many people that are gunning for the empty spot. Like, wouldn't there be animosity towards the one of the children, right? Even his sister could be coming for him, if you know what I mean. Like, kind of like, I don't know. I don't think it's something that you should really talk to people about and be so open with.
榊さん、次の組長でほぼ確定らしいわよ。でも、組長の座を狙ってるって言われてる人、もう一人いるじゃない？
I heard he's like practically a shoo-in, but there's another guy going for it, isn't there?
あのメガネの透かしてる方。あっちは来てないのかしら？
You know, the big shot with the glasses? Is he here too? Is he a love
どうだ
interest?
ろうな。俺は見てない。
No clue. Haven't seen him. Ray was referring to Tono Masami, the chief administrator of the Takasato Gumi. Sakaki and Tono were diametrically opposed in every way, and as you might expect, they got along like oil and water. I looked in the direction Kotaro had gone and saw a group of thuggish youths and guys in suits, all of them Takasato Yakuza, probably.
やっぱりライバル同士になるわけだから、顔を合わせたくないのかしらね。他に次期組長候補っていないの？
They're basically rivals at this point, so maybe they're avoiding each other? Or are there any other candidates? Wouldn't the children be first candidates, though? I wouldn't know. I have no idea how the mafia works, honestly. I always thought it was like a family thing, but I don't know. I gazed out at the group of gangsters. The nearby civilians were all giving them a wide berth. The smoke that rose from the group was a swirl of muddy colors, but you didn't need to have special powers to know to avoid them. Then I heard Taku calling for me and turned my attention back to the task at hand. I kind of don't like that they're making an event like this so very political. This is kind of giving me an iffy feeling, especially if there's two opposing sides. This makes this kind of event very dangerous, if you know what I mean. They could always like go off at each other, right? Once the long line of people finally dwindled, I was mercifully cut loose. It was just past 2 p.m. I stood in the shade of a tree a short distance from the event space, taking a smoke break. As I stared around absently, I caught sight of a familiar man. He was wearing a grey suit and talking to the guy in charge of the charity event. Sakaki? Sakaki! He seemed to sense my gaze. He looked over his shoulder at me, then came walking over straight away. It's probably like, why are you avoiding my messages? What the fuck?
Oh,
He doesn't look like what I expected him to look like. Like, I expected him to look way more shady. Like, I have a specific anime character in mind that I thought he looked like, but I have no idea what anime he's from. I might have to look it up. Maybe I'll find it. If I did find it, I'll put the image up here. If not, just a shady anime guy who's more lanky, you know? Lanky and shady. He looks kind of cool, you know what I mean? He looks like burly and cool. Wow, great explanation. Well, if it isn't Toa. Sakaki was the Takasato Gumi's second in command. Given his position, the younger guys all feared him, but he was always pretty nice to me. His smoke was a vibrant green color. Let me guess, you're here helping Murase-san.
ああ、さっき小太郎たちと会った。
Yeah, I saw Kotaro and the guys earlier. Ah, did you? He slid both hands into the pockets of his slacks and looked around.
まあたまにはこういうのもきちんと見に来ねえとな。カジノだセレブだってそんなことばかりやってたら足元がふらついちまうからよ。
It's important to come out to these things every now and then. If we spent all our time in casinos with celebrities, we'd only be setting ourselves up for failure. Okay.
今日日俺たちも後ろぐらい商売だけじゃやっていけねえんだ。これからは企業としての体裁も整えていかねえとってやつだ。
These days, we can't support ourselves solely on shady business dealings. In short, we have to look the part of a real company. Right. Right. Like, that's gonna fly. He shrugged off my absent response and grinned.
なんか困ったことがあったらいつでも来いよ。最大限のバックアップをしてやるからよ。
If you ever need anything, feel free to come by. I'll back you up as much as I can. That's so nice. Honestly, I was kind of suspecting that he was suckering up to us because we were the boss's son. But now that the boss is dead, right, he doesn't have any more use for us, so to speak. So if he's still really nice to us, I kind of feel like it's more genuine.
映画ってのはそう長くは続かねえもんだ。いつ何時戦争が起こるかわからねえからな。なんかあったらその時やってやってこい。
Peace never lasts long, and you never know when another war will break out. So if something goes down, just know you can count on me. Thank you! Got it!
それとお前。
People are so nice to us! Oh, and another thing. What is it? He leaned in to whisper in my ear.
親父の葬儀来なかったな。
Let me listen in your ear. Come on, girl, come on over here. Let me whisper in your ear. Something like that. Whatever. I noticed you didn't go to your father's funeral. Yeah. Why would I?
だよな。
Right.
お前はそう言って分かっちゃいるんだが。
I had a feeling you'd say that, of course. There was a suggestive pause as he rubbed his neck. Would you have wanted me to go?
まあいい。じゃあな。
Well then, alright. See ya. Weird conversation. He promptly cut the conversation short and walked off with a wave. What? What? Excuse me? Huh? I feel like I missed something. Oh, Toa, there you are. Yeah, well, don't know about this double life I'm leading. I wish we could just stay with the goody two-shoes at the clinic, you know, and just not engage with the Yakuza. Right as he left, Ray ran up behind me.
何？榊さんと話してたの？
What were you talking to Sakaki-san about?
別に挨拶だけ。
Not much, just saying hi. Yeah, actually, yeah, there wasn't really a lot of substance there.
そう。
Huh. Yeah, I feel the same way, Ray. Squinting dubiously, he watched Sakaki disappear into the distance.
あの人もよくわかんない人よね。妙に人情派っていうか、トワをすっごく構うし、息子の面倒を見る父親って感じ。
I don't really get him, you know? He's like weirdly nice, and he's constantly checking in on you. It's like he's trying to be your dad. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Shockingly, very much what I was
ガキ
thinking.
の頃からの付き合いだし。
Well, I've known him since I was a kid. That's not the issue here. It's kind of like, why is he so nice to us, if you know what I mean? Someone who's that calculative. I don't know, I can't accept it, if you know what I mean.
まあそれもそうか。そういえばもう一人のメガネの透かした方はやっぱり来てないみたい。
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Oh yeah, and apparently the big shot with the glasses isn't here at all.
でかいのが揃いも揃って邪魔だよ。
Oh, it's the candy shop lady! You big lugs are in my damn way. Out of nowhere, a mountain of styrofoam containers appeared, interrupting us.
だ、何かと思ったらおばあちゃん。
Ah, Granny! I knew it! Beneath the mountain of styrofoam was the old lady who ran Tajima's. Is her name Tajima? Like what? As she held her container, she glared up at us sharply. And as soon as she laid eyes on Ray, her expression softened slightly.
なんだよあんた。いたのかい。
Ah, it's you. Didn't recognize you.
いたわよ。みんなのお手伝いに来たの。
Yeah, it's me, silly. I came out to volunteer. He's like a puppy.
人手は大いに越したことはないからね。
Well, we can always use the help. Oh, she's also participating.
でしょ？おばあちゃんたちの何倍も働けるからどんどん行ってちょうだい。
Right? Like, I'm totally as strong as an ox, so put me to work. Oh, yeah, I can. If you know what I mean. Alright then, thanks. Ray had a massive sweet tooth, so he was always buying things at Tajima's. Because of that, the old lady seemed to have taken a liking to him. No, I think it's his personality that is really, taking a shine.
それ大丈夫？持とうか？
See? Of course you would like him. You can carry that, Granny? Let me help you, okay?
いや、これぐらいどうってことないよ。他お手伝いが。
Nah, it's not that much. Find something else to do.
わかったわ。でも気をつけてね。
Got it. Just be careful.
ああ、
Yeah. As she slowly tottered off, that's such a cute phrase. Ray waved goodbye, then turned back to me.
イベントは16時までだからもうすぐ終わりよ。そろそろタクのところへ戻りましょう。
The event ends at 4, so we're almost done here. Let's go back and find Taku. Yeah, let's do that. Together, we started walking. Before long, we found Taku slumped on a bench, his hands folded on his stomach, looking up at the sky. Oh, hey. I was just sat here like an old man. I should really look up the ages. When he spotted us, he forced himself upright, fatigue etched deeply into the lines of his face. Side note, now I say that, right? One of my best friends, she sent me a picture of a guy and she was like, oh my god, it should be illegal to be this hot, right? I looked at the dude and I was like, he's old! And then I rethought it. She's older than me, right? Like a couple years older than me. Several years, I should say. So she's like in another phase of life and like looking for people in another phase of life. And I always forget that because we're so similar, right? And it's just like something you never think about. And then she showed me this guy and I was like, dude, he's too old. And then I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, he's too old for me, but maybe not you. Like this should be what you're looking for. It was such a weird thought to me because like we both like people who are older than us, right? But like if I like the same type of people that she liked, then I would be looking at people who are 10 plus years older than I am, which would be too old. So I don't know. Sorry, weird tangent. It was just something that I was really thinking about just now. I was like, oh, that's weird. That's really weird because it's something you lose track of when you're spending so much time with someone, right? You lose track of age because it doesn't matter. But then when it comes to romance, I feel like it does matter again, and then it becomes weird. If you know what I mean. I don't know. Whatever. Back to old guy Taku. Sorry. When he spotted us, he forced himself upright. Fatigue etched deeply into the lines of his face.
お疲れ様。忙しすぎてあっという間に時間経っちゃったわね。
You deserve to rest. We've been so busy. The time has totally flown by.
本当にな。
Yeah,
お前
no
たち
kidding.
何か食べたか。残り物ならまだあるみたいだな。
You two get a bite to eat yet? There's still some leftovers.
私はさっきもらって少し食べたわ。トアは？
Yeah, I had some a little while ago. What about you, Toa? Toa never eats.
いや
No. That's just his personality. He never eats. Jesus. You should really eat three meals a day. Or, 2 meals a day, honestly. I pulled a pack of cigarettes from the back pocket of my jeans.
まさかあんたのご飯それ？もう。
Don't tell me that's your lunch. Oh my god! Duh. I like Ray. We're on the same wavelength, him and I like him a lot. Ray shot me a pointed look as I lit one up. Thor. As your doctor. As your primary physician. I looked over in response to my name. Then Taku jerked his head to point at something. I looked in the direction he indicated and saw Sakaki standing with Kotaro, Mayu, and Eiji.
さっきあいつらと話してただろ。
You were talking with them earlier, weren't you?
ああ話しかけられたから。
But they started it! He's like a child who's been caught fighting. They started it!
昔からの顔見知りだから付き合いやすいんだろうが。あまり深く関わるなよ。
I know it's easy to forget since you're old friends, but you don't want to get in too deep with them. Yeah.
そうね。
Thanks, Taku.
いつトラブルに巻き込まれるかわかんないし。
Yeah, for sure. You never know when you might get dragged into something. I love these guys. We should just stay with them for the rest of our lives, This is like light and dark, if you know what I mean. Ray nodded, frowning. Love these guys. I looked away and didn't say anything. I wasn't trying to get in with any of them. They wanted to talk to me, so I responded, that's all. I was pretty sure Taku understood that, but because he was so paranoid about the Takasarugumi, he kept nagging me over and over. Why is he paranoid? I really want to know. And also, even if he wasn't paranoid, you should still be insanely careful. Ironic, considering how many gangsters he treated at his own clinic. That's a different story. Oh, that reminds me. Are you coming to Roost tonight? Probably. Cool.
珍しいお酒を仕入れたからトアに飲んでみてほしいって言ってたわよ
The manager's got this weird new alcohol in stock and he wants you to try it. You should really not support his drinking habit.
あまり万人受けしない味らしいんだけ
Like
ど
right next to his physician that prescribes his drugs. Apparently, most people can stand the taste of it, so he's curious what you think. As a weird artist. Interesting. I was generally willing to drink just about anything alcoholic, so if he wanted me to try something, I was down for it. You should really just give him water, spiked with vinegar, and be like, yeah, this is alcohol, believe me, it's like 40%.
今晩お待ちしております
We look forward to your patronage. Ray pressed one hand to his chest and bowed like a humble butler. I love him!
あまり飲みすぎるなよ
Don't get too drunk now.
私が見張るから任せて
Don't worry, I'll babysit him. Oh my god, these guys! Everyone's just looking out for us, like everywhere. Wee Man is really a cat. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. He's really cat-like, right? He's just going from owner to owner, being like, yeah, do you have something for me? Can I get some cuddles over here? Ignoring their banter, I looked out at the setting sun and exhaled a lungful of cigarette smoke. Yee. I want to play a game where I can just completely change the main character, right? Like quit smoking, like get a real job, and like change friend groups, something like that, you know? It's so satisfying to see someone really blooming again. Like I have this one acquaintance like I used to work with, and I met them when they were like at a really, really low point, and they like stopped smoking. They quit their relationship and all that. And I didn't really contribute to anything because we weren't like really close or anything, but it was just so freaking nice to see. It was so nice, like so heartwarming. Getting goosebumps. But like it's I don't know, if maybe it's like validating to oneself if you see someone like make all these like right decisions in life after making so many bad choices. It's just I wish everyone would do them, but like a lot of the times when you're like in a bad situation, it's so difficult to change anything about it because it's so draining to even start somewhere, and even if you do start, it's difficult to understand where to start. It's just it's tough to change things, but when you do, it's just so yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know how I got into this weird tangent. Anyway, late that night, after the soup kitchen, the three of us stopped by the local diner. After that, I headed downtown. As I wandered around looking for a place to have a drink, I heard the sounds of an argument in the distance. There was a crowd of people standing in the middle of the street.
次はないと思えよ
There won't be a next time. Through the sea of people, I could see a man in a suit scoffing down at the ground. Oh, is this the other guy? The mechanic guy? Yeah, it was Tono. He was glaring down at a frightened man who had fallen to the asphalt. Then he and his cronies cut through the crowd. This is not the way to go if you really want the public's support in becoming the next head or whatever, right? As he walked, he spotted me standing there, and his disgruntled scowl shifted to surprise. His reddish-brown smoke fluttered in the breeze. So he likes us? Oh, I don't like you! He has the words "bad ending" written all over that disgusted face of his, doesn't he? Like, if there's anything that happens with this dude, it's not gonna be positive. Just turn around and act like you didn't see him. just leave. Toa. He and his cronies walked over and came to a stop right in front of
こん
me.
なところで会うなんて珍しいな飲み屋さんじゃ
It's not often I see you here looking for a bar. Yeah, no, actually I was just on my way home. If you say, yeah, I was looking for a bar, he might just invite himself to come along.
そうか。
I see. He sounded completely uninterested. Then he started cracking his neck. I would be happy if you would be
今
uninterested.
の見てたのか？
Were you watching that? I was passing
少
by.
し。
Just a little.
近頃は借りた恩を踏み倒そうとするやつが多くてな。困ったもんだ。
These days, a lot of folks think they can renege? Renege? Renegade? Renegade? What? On their debts. It's sad, really. He let out an exasperated sigh, then donned a condescending smirk. Why are you dealing with it, though? I thought you were like a really high-up guy. Why don't you have people to do that?
ところで、昨日は炊き出しのボランティアとやらにお前も行ったのか？
So, did you volunteer at that soup kitchen thing yesterday?
ああ、強制連行で。
But not by choice.
村瀬か。純粋にボランティアとして参加するのは大いに結構なことだ。だが、昨日はうちの連中も来てたんだろう。
Murase is doing, eh? I must say, I approve of doing volunteer work for its own sake, but our men were there too, weren't they? Well, they weren't strictly your men. They were Sakaki's men.
俺たちがそんなイベントにわざわざ参加するなんて、あざといと思わないか？
Really? Why would we go out of our way to take part in that sort of thing? Who are we trying to fool, exactly? I mean, yeah, I guess. But also, I feel like it's better to do so anyway. I don't know. I don't like this dude. He gives me the fucking shivers. It was a loaded statement aimed squarely at Sakaki said. Yeah, exactly. That's, yeah. I don't know. As for me, I just shrugged. Tono's lip curled in
親
contempt.
父が言って組もしばらくはゴタゴタするだろうが、もし何か困ったことがあれば言えよ。助けてやる。
The organization will be a mess for some time now that your father's passed, but let me know if you ever need anything and I'll help you out. Why? Ew! Sorry, but like, ew! I'm like, ugh, I have like goosebumps all over. I hate that. I hate that. Please never talk to us ever again, alright? Also, like, why are they so eager to help us? Especially like mentioning Wee Man's father? Know what I mean? This is so freaking shady. Yeah, sure. It was obvious he didn't mean a word of it, and he clearly had no intention of pretending otherwise. Why would he say that then? If anything, maybe he was just mocking Sakaki's general disposition. Let's hope that's the case. See ya. Bye. See ya never. With that, he and his goons headed off downtown. I hate that dude. I really do. Likewise, I started walking without a moment's hesitation. Right as I stepped into an empty alley to avoid the crowds, however, my phone buzzed in my coat pocket. I pulled it out and checked the screen. Oh. Shinkomi Times from A to Z. Did the big boss die of illness? Rumors say he was sick. Takasato downturn has led to infighting, sources say. Did the big boss die of illness? On the 9th, Takasato Gumi leader Takasato Ryujiro died of heart failure, or so they announced, but rumors say he was sickly in recent years. We spoke to a former gang member to get the scoop. It was a newsletter titled Shinkumi Times from A to Z. AG sent them out to his mailing list periodically. I never asked for this subscription, but apparently anyone who traded contact info with him got added to it. Oh, yikes, I hate that. His stance was if you don't like it, unsubscribe. The newsletter mostly featured local news updates with a light sprinkling of unsubstantiated rumors, informal polls, and other random crap. It was completely useless to me, but since he only sent them every now and then, I couldn't be bothered to unsub. I knew that was the reason. Honestly, that is so like him. So here it was. Jesus. I closed my inbox and opened a new browser tab. From my bookmarks, I selected Roost's blog, The Fourth Phase. It looks really artsy-fartsy, doesn't it? Like, look at this sign. Demonic, almost. I like to check in every now and then, whenever I felt like it. Sometimes there were really good submissions, so it was a decent way to kill some time. Or maybe it's like Wiccan, you know, maybe it's like a rendition of the Horned God. I hadn't checked in a while, so there were a fair few articles I'd missed. The Seduction of the Blue Room. Love it. Apparently they finally caught the artist who was exclusively using oil paint made from human remains. Ew! I was following that case for a while. Oh, Jesus! Criminy Christ! They'd found evidence that he was murdering people to make paint. Honestly, if he managed to make the Shinkumi police force get off their asses, then he must have been a pretty shitty criminal. Alas, now he would never paint again. Oh, yee. Next, an article discussing an acrylic painter and how their style changed over time. While they started out painting intricate lines in pale colors, they suddenly switched to gloomy pieces painted predominantly with black. Comparing the two styles side by side, I could immediately tell it was a side effect of drug use. Oh. Aw, damn. I'd seen these stark style shifts dozens of times in the past and wasn't that uncommon. I mean, yeah, I know this is not an opinion I should necessarily voice, but like depression as well as drugs make for really, really good art. But at what cost? You know what I mean? It's like never stoop to that, you know? It's just, horrible. But also strangely thought-provoking. I skimmed the other articles for a while, then came to a stop at one particular artist. Ooh. Ugh, this looks like murder. What do you think it looks like? Murder. The alias, phrase. It was a photograph of a wound. Yeah. Specifically, a bloody cut somewhere on the body. I could tell the image had been retouched, but to me it looked like an ordinary self-harm cut. Oh. Oh, yikes. And yet something was off about it. I didn't know what it was. Was this a wrist or a leg? Or a torso? Oh! Is this our case? For a while, I scrutinized the image, trying to work it out. Then I closed the tab. What was that? What was that Chiron action that just happened? What? So it was posted on Roost's blog. The manager there would probably have more information about it. Yeah, let's check it. With that thought, I headed to Roost. Interesting. There was no sign out front, so for the most part, it just looked like a tall, spindly concrete building. So it's kind of like an exclusive thing, huh? It's so stylish. I love it. As I stepped inside, the ethereal music and lighting greeted me like always. The bar was pretty packed, or at least I was having trouble seeing any empty seats. Oh. But this wasn't some sports bar for normies. Alright. The people gathered here were of a particular inclination that naturally resulted in tight crowds. Gays? I know this one gay bar, like the single gay bar that is in my area. It's always full. Always crowded. Ray walked around waiting tables. Meanwhile, the manager quietly worked the counter. Ooh. Interesting getup. He had an unusual hairstyle and always wore a perfectly fitted black shirt. Late 40s, if I had to guess. It's more like the glasses that kind of like caught me, and the tattoo. I mean, I guess it's the tattoo along with the hairstyle, but like, As he crafted cocktails and washed dishes, he gazed around the bar. I had never seen him get emotional or speak a single word more than was strictly necessary. Likewise, his smoke was a calm yellow color, like a daffodil. Oh, I love that. I hope my smoke is like that. The bar was furnished with all sorts of unusual decorations and paintings. Look at this guy. Go! Love him. This one looks like the Hatter. Shields and tapestries with a magic motif. Porcelain dolls with cracks all over them. Oh, I love that! I love that! I have a lot of dolls in my room. Accessories featuring eyeballs and holy crosses. Interesting. I couldn't help but wonder where he bought this shit. Come on, man. Usually yacht sales. That's where I get my dolls. Love it. Oh, this one. This one. This is making me very uncomfortable. Very claustrophobic as well. But I like this one. This one is also really nice. I wonder if these are real paintings. I mean, of course they're real, but like if they're also like standalone or like if they were created for this game is what I'm trying to say. This one looks very invasive. You know what I mean? It's like making me insanely uncomfortable, like forceful, I guess. But this one is really, really wow. Wow, I love that one. Really do. Anyway, altogether, it engendered a vibe that attracted those with eccentric tastes. Yeah. Everyone was welcome here. That was the manager's attitude, and so it became the dominant culture at Roost. I wonder which of these are my paintings, like Wee Man's paintings. I feel like this is one that Wee Man would have done, right? I think he used a lot of color. Granted, the barrier, but then again, he was like, oh, I need a model, right? So maybe these are the ones of his. I don't know. Granted, the barrier to entry was still pretty high for the average normie. I hate the word normie, bro. But for a fringe minority, it was home.
いらっしゃい。
Welcome. Ah! Toa's so pretty! I love you! Can we, oh, fuck. That's not what I wanted. Then again, choop. High Texas face. Okay. Alright. As I walked up to the counter and sat down on an empty stool, the manager looked up from the glass he was wiping.
トア君、待ってたよ。実はちょっと頼みがあって。
I've been waiting for you, Toa-kun. I have a special request for you.
レイから聞いた。珍しい酒があるって。
Yeah, Ray told me you've got some new type of booze in stock.
そうそう。ちょっと待ってね。
Yeah, that. Just a moment. He turned to the shelf behind him, grabbed a bottle, and held it out for me to see.
これね。アブさんっていうよもぎのお酒
Ah!
で、いろんなメーカーから出てるんだけど。
It's called absinthe, and it's made from wormwood. There are a fair few brands of it out there. Absinthe is... That shit will fuck you up. I've tried it once. Disgusting, I have to say. I don't like it, but I also don't like mint or anything of the type. It's too harsh of a flavor for me. I don't like it. But also, it'll fuck you up, if you know what I mean. It's really strong.
こっちじゃあまり出回ってないやつをフランスから取り寄せたんだよ。
It's one of the rarer ones, imported from France.
でも、この味は苦手な人も多いだろうから、勧めづらくて。トア君ならいけるんじゃないかと思ったんだ。ちょっと飲んでみてよ。
Not many can stand the taste. I'm not one of the people that can stand the taste. It's disgusting. So it's hard to recommend it to anyone, but I figured you might be able to drink it. Here, have some. It's not something you should drink. He poured a small amount of the green liquid into a glass. Is that a sugar cube? Strangely pretty. Then he set a perforated spoon on top of the glass and placed a sugar cube on top of it. Pretty! I wish there was a bar like this around here. As I watched curiously, he grabbed a jug of water and slowly poured it over the sugar cube and into the glass. Interesting. Maybe you're supposed to drink it with water. Maybe it's not that disgusting then. I drank it like... I was given it, I should say. I didn't drink it of my own accord. It was given to me. And then I drank it of my own accord. But like, it was like not diluted at all. Apparently he was trying to melt the sugar. That is very interesting.
そうやって飲むのが普通なのか?
Is this how you're supposed to drink this? No.
伝統的な飲み方らしいよ。だけど、なかなか手がかかるんだよね。
I'm told it's the traditional way. Bit of a hassle, isn't it? Well, every good drink is a bit of a hassle. Have you ever made like really... Like, have you ever made like... no, I can't think about it. I have this really expensive tea, and it takes me like half an hour to prepare it. I've forgotten the name though. I got it because it was on sale because they had like a larger harvest than expected, and I was like, yeah, I have to splurge this one time. Anyway, it's good. I'm told it's the traditional way. A bit of a hassle, isn't it? By the time the cute was nearly melted, the translucent green liquid had gone pale and cloudy. Interesting. Kind of suits Toa, doesn't it? He stirred the glass with a perforated spoon, then slid it over to me. Interesting. Here you are. I picked it up and took a small sip. The cold liquid slid down my throat, leaving a bitterness in my mouth not unlike herbal medicine. Yeah, exactly. That is what it tastes like. It tasted like someone put their lawn clippings in a juicer. It was bizarre and potent. How was it? Disgusted.
砂糖なしでもいいんじゃないか。
Doesn't really need the sugar. He nodded, smiling.
トワ君ならそう言うと思ってたよ。その苦味と味の強さが苦手で砂糖を入れる人が多いらしいんだけどね。
I had a feeling you'd say that. I read that people like to add the sugar to distract from the overpowering taste.
度数は
What's the ABV? What is an ABV? Alcohol volume? Alcohol byproduct volume? What?
60.
60. Ah, so it's the concentration, right? I told you it'll fuck you up. That would explain why it burned my throat. I could understand its lack of broad appeal. Yeah, it's fucking disgusting.
あ、トア来てたん
It's
だ。
like it's this one bougie thing people take to get like stupidly drunk. I like drinking alcohol. I never drink it to get drunk. Don't understand that. Never have. I've been drunk once in my life, and it was like we wanted to get drunk at a friend's place, right? It was like a friend group of mine. We all kind of like had this pact where we were like, okay, we're gonna get drunk for once in our lives, and we're gonna see where our borders are, kind of like how much we can drink before it gets murky for us. That's the one time in my life I've been drunk, and I have no intention of ever repeating that. Don't understand why people want to get drunk. I really don't. Like, if someone can explain to me the appeal, please do. Don't get it. Oh, hey, Toa's here. Anyway, as I was taking my second sip, I heard a familiar voice.
はあ、昼間に運動したから疲れちゃった。
Oh, I'm so tired after that workout I got this afternoon. What workout? Ray strolled across the bar and sat down next to me. Wasn't the charity thing yesterday? Though he was technically on the clock, he was allowed to sit and chat as long as it wasn't too busy.
昼って炊き出しのボランティア？
But Tono said it was yesterday. You mean the soup kitchen event?
そう、タクが出るっていうから、私とトアも一緒にね。トアは私以上に疲れたんじゃない？いつもだらけてるから。
Since Taco was doing it, the two of us pitched in. And I bet Toa's even more tired than me since he's always lying around. Yeah, pretty much. I shrugged off his teasing. He made a show of pouting.
何よ、つまんないの。
God, you're no fun.
それマスターが言ってたお酒どうだった？
Oh, is that the weird alcohol? How is it?
飲むか？
Gosh, he's so pretty. I love him. Look at him. So freaking pretty. Want to find out? I can feed you with my mouth. Gingerly, he took the glass like an anxious puppy. He leaned in to sniff it.
やった。何この匂い。トアこれ飲んだの？飲めるの？
Oh my god, it reeks! You drank this? Do you like it? I love this guy.
ま、普通に。
It's decent. What? I don't believe anyone that says that they like absinthe. Nobody likes that shit. Sorry, but nobody does.
うわ。私これは匂いだけでダメ。
Oh my god, I can't even stand how it smells. Funny, I guess. I don't know, bro. Hate it. Sorry, it's just so disgusting. His unabashed disgust got a chuckle out of the manager. Honestly, you should really try it at least once. Then you'll understand why I'm cringing so hard. Then again, just, get some cough medicine and mix some lawn clippings in there. And then you'll have absinthe. Like, it's that disgusting. And it also burns like a motherfucker because of its high alcohol content. It's not good, all right? I don't encourage anyone No, never mind. Nobody try this.
これって薬草が原料のお酒なのよね。
Isn't this alcohol made from like herbs or whatever?
そうだね。
Lawn clippings. Yes, that's right.
植物か。
So it's plant juice? Why are you saying that with such attitude? Like it's bad.
レイ君って植物嫌いだったっけ？
I didn't realize you hated plants. Dude, I drink once a week. I drink a shake I make out of primarily spinach. It's delicious and really good for you.
花は大好きよ。でも植物って見てる分にはいいんだけど、腐ってくるとすごい匂いになるじゃない？
I don't. I like looking at flowers and stuff, but when plants start to rot, they smell super gross. Yeah, I guess.
だから自分じゃ買ったり育てたりする気にならないのよね。
That's why I could never like have plants in my house. I mean, plants aren't supposed to rot. You know what I mean?
なるほどね。
Maybe just keep them alive.
腐臭っていうのはどの生き物も大体似たような匂いを発するんだよ。
Ah, I see. Frankly, the smell of decay is mostly the same for all living things. I beg to get differ. Have you ever smelled a dead human? Disgusting.
鼻に残る嫌な甘ったるさがあるっていうか、人間も植物も動物も。
It's always sickly sweet and cloying, be it human or plant or animal. Sickly sweet and cloying, yes, but for plants? I don't think it is that way for plants. I feel like plants have a very different aroma or like smell when they're decaying. I don't know. The subject matter contrasted sharply with his bright smile.
店長って普段は温厚だから忘れがちだけど、やっぱりこのお店の店長よね。
You know, sometimes I forget how a guy like you ended up running a bar like Roost, and now I remember. What do you mean? As they talked, an image rose to the forefront of my mind. The wound photo from Roost's blog. Flowing blood, exposed flesh, the sweet smell of decay wouldn't be too out of place.
店長、
Gosh, she's so pretty. I love
聞
this
きたいことがあ
picture.
るんだけど、
Hey, boss, I got a question for
どう
you.
ぞ。
Ask away.
ブログに載ってた傷の画像、あれ知り合い？
You know that picture of a wound you posted on the blog? Do you know the artist?
ああ、あの画像。なかなか良かったでしょ？
Ah, that. Great photo, don't you think?
何傷の画像って。私その記事まだ見てない。
Wait, what wound pic? I haven't seen it.
レイ君、その前にお客さん、会計お願いします。
Leikun, you've got a customer waiting to pay their tab.
はい。
Oh, coming! Ray rose from his seat and walked over to the register.
話の続きだけど、あの画像ね。僕の知り合いじゃなくて、初めて投稿された作品なの。
Anyway, where were we? Right, phrase. I don't know them. It was a random submission to the blog.
それで、僕も気に入ったから、作者のフレーズにメールしてみたんだけど、連絡がつかなくて。
I liked it so much, I tried to get in touch with them, but I couldn't.
一応作品の投稿時には、メールアドレスの記入を必須にしてるんだけど、ステアドだったみたいでね。メールが戻ってきちゃうんだよ。
Apparently, they put a fake email address in the email field for their submission. Anytime I try to email them, it bounces back.
ブログには載せてほしいけど、素
Maybe a
性は
typo?
知られたくないってことか。
So they want their art on your blog, but they want to stay anonymous? Or it was a
多
typo?
分そうだろうね。連絡が取れたら店に作品を展示させてもらおうと思ってたんだけど、ちょっと残念だよね。
Something like that, I'm sure. I was hoping to get their permission to hang their photo in the bar, so I'm a little disappointed.
まあ、また投稿があるかもしれないし、僕も誰か作者を知らないか周りに聞いてみるつもり。
But hey, maybe they'll send another submission someday. In the meantime, I plan to ask
何
around.
か分かったら、トワ君にも教えるね。
If I learn
興味
anything,
あるでしょ。
I'll let you know. You do want to know, right?
まあな。
Yeah, I guess.
だと思った。
Thought so. I mean, why else would he ask, right? Roos drew in not just those with eclectic interests, but Roos drew in not just those with eclectic interests, but equally eclectic artists who sought to cultivate a following. As a result, people often came here to get or give out contact info.
お会計終わったわ。さっきの話の続き教えて。
All done. Now, what did I miss? Ray rushed back and eagerly leaned both arms on the counter.
店のブログ見てみろよ。
Look at the blog.
そっか。まずはそこからよね。オッケー。
Oh, right. Gotta start there. Got it. He pulled his cell phone from the pocket of his waist apron.
ああ、この画像ね。っていうかとはこれが気になったの？これってリストカットじゃないの？
Ah, found it. This is the pic you were curious about? Isn't it a self-harm cut?
そう見えるけど違う。
It looks like one, but it isn't.
違うの？手首か何かを切った後の画像にしか見えないけど。もし本当に違うならどうやって作ってるのかしら。
It isn't. To me, it really just looks like someone cut their flesh or whatever. Sorry, this is kind of triggering. If it's not that, then how did they make it?
今トワ君にも話したんだけど、メールアドレスが捨て跡だったから連絡が取れなくてね。
I was just telling Towa-kun about my various attempts to get in touch with the artist, but sadly, they used a fake email
フレ
address.
ーズっていう名前しかわからない。謎の作者なんだよ。
All we know about them is the name phrase. The rest is a mystery.
何それ？ミステリアスじゃない。ちょっとワクワクするわね。
Ooh, a mystery! That's like kind of exciting. Ray shot me a meaningful
こ
grin.
ういう人がモデルになるといいわね。せっかくあんたが興味持ったんだし、ぴったりじゃない。
It'd be cool if you could get this person to be your art model. I mean, you're already interested in them, so it's a win-win, right? Oh, ooh. Okay.
そううまくはいかないだろ。
You know it's not that simple. I downed the rest of the bittersweet absinthe. Bittersweet! It's just bitter! Ah! Wormwood. What? This is also... What? Huh?
そうだ、レイ君。
Sorry.
こ
Is
の
this
間
like on our
店でやった
palette?
ボディアートの相談イベント。
Croaky?
お客さんから好評でね。
Huh. Ah! Clue. Okay, so we do get clues. Phrase and wormwood are two clues. Interesting. I wonder how they like play together. Like I'm really curious now. Anyway, that reminds me, Raycun. The attendees loved your body art consultation event.
え、本当に？
What? Really?
ああ。それでね、定期的に開催してみようかと思うんだけど、レイ君さえ良ければどう？
Really? Really? So I was thinking about making it a reoccurring thing. If you're interested, what do you think?
やるわ。あのイベント、いろんな人の話が聞けてすっごく勉強になったの。
Totally. It was super fascinating getting to hear from all those
そ
people.
こからお客さんになってくれる人もいたし、またやりたいなって思ってたのよ。
We even converted some of them to regular customers. So yeah, I'd love to do it again. I love his energy. I really do. Body art, also known as body modification, was one of Ray's other hobbies. Really? He doesn't look modded though. Does he have a split thumb? Elf ears? He doesn't have elf ears. Considering it was a hobby, he researched it pretty thoroughly and he could perform all kinds of services from tattoos to implants. Oh, that's so cool! I love that! Oh my god, I would visit one of those seminars. I'm so interested in these things. His work was highly acclaimed. Apparently, Ruth's recent body art consultation event was a huge hit too. I mean, it would fit this place. So interesting. Oh my god, I love that. A few decades ago, body art was frowned upon in this country, but in recent years, it became accepted for people to augment their bodies. Obviously, tattoos were common, but these days, LEDs and IC chips were becoming mainstream too. LEDs in your body. I don't know about that. I'm more interested in elf ears. Some of the customers here had glowing fingernails. Ooh, never mind. That sounds amazing. Or horns growing out of their forehead. Oh my god. I love that too. I wouldn't want it for myself, but if my lover had a horn, that is amazing. I'm sorry. It's interesting. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. For a lot of people, it was a fashion statement. I love that.
それじゃあまたイベントの打ち合わせしようか。
In that case, let's plan our next
よ
event.
ろしくお願いします。
Yes, please. Tray and dishcloth in hand, Ray cheerfully walked off. Ah, that is really interesting. This game has a really, really interesting setting. I love it. It's like this niche community that it's like targeting. I love it. I stumbled down the street early the next morning after drinking at Roost all night long. Ray was worried about letting me leave, but I assured him I was used to it. This kind of thing happened all the time. What kind of thing? Ah, I hate it. It wasn't rare for me to end up down here on the concrete either. Did he pass out because of the absinthe? Oh no, sweetheart. I thought I was walking straight, but everything was spinning, and the next thing I knew, I was on my side. Why? I felt a dull ache spread through my body, but it didn't really bother me, probably because I was so drunk. Why would Ray let us leave in this state? Now that I was lying down, however, fatigue quickly set in. Is he really going to spend his night in the gutters? That is so sad. I'm so sorry. I didn't want to get up again. My eyelid drooped. It felt like gravity was pulling me down hard against the ground. I guess this is happening. Oh, God. With that thought, I closed my eye. Oh, I keep forgetting he only has one eye. Jeez. And because I was so wasted, it didn't take long for me to pass out. This is really dangerous. You can't just do this. Ah, damn it. Ah, cliffhanger. You know what? The episode should be over now. But, I'm not that cruel of a person, okay? Let's just continue until we know where he is, and then I'm gonna stop the episode, okay? Ugh, my head. The stabbing pain made me grimace. Where are we? This doesn't look like our house. It's too nice. Where am I? Forcing my sluggish brain to cooperate, I slowly reviewed the events of last night. Please tell me we're at Ray's place. I went to Roost, got drunk, and left. Then, on my way home, I must have passed out on the sidewalk. And yet, for some reason, I was now laying on a bed. This was not my room, and there was a weird smell. Not in an unpleasant scent, just very distinct. I must have smelled it somewhere before. Worm root or whatever? Oh! Wow! Okay, this is not Ray's apartment. I love it. I mean, I love the apartment is full of plants. I don't love that I don't know where we are. This is definitely not Ray's apartment. As my mind sharpened, I sat up and looked around the room. Maybe it's the artist apartment? Did someone take my drunk ass in off the street? I was wearing all my clothes and my ass didn't hurt. Oh, God. Just the fact that you thought about it in the first place. So apparently they didn't have their way with me while I was out. But why? So someone just brought me here? To make you into bait? Was it one of my past hookups? They treated you. Whoever it was had tucked me in, but I pushed the covers off and moved to get up. Until I saw the bandage wrapped around my arm. I didn't remember getting a bandage on my arm. Hell, I didn't even remember needing a bandage. Did he take our blood? I don't know. What is happening? Or maybe he gave us a wound and then photographed it. Maybe it's the artist. Was this the work of the same person who brought me here? Yeah! I'm telling you, he fucking made a wound on our body. He took a photograph for his next work. I unrolled the bandage to find a 4-inch piece of gauze taped to my skin. Oh, yeesh! That's a wound! Under that was a 4-inch long cut. That needs stitches, brother. When and where did I get this wound? And who treated it? You need stitches! Confused, I tossed the unrolled bandage to the bed and stood up. Every time I moved, my head throbbed and my vision pitched sideways. At least do the at-home stitches with duct tape, if you know what I mean. Like, this needs stitches. Oh my god, what a nice place. This reminds me of the place of the guy in Burlesque, if you've seen the movie. Really nice, love it. The room was clean and tidy, with a table, a small sofa, a TV, a bed, and dozens of decorative plants. Where is the person living here, though? I could also see pruning shears, a spade, and a watering can. Whoever lived here clearly liked gardening. Well, obviously. The potted plants were easily the best part about this place, and I could see even more of them lined up on the balcony. So nice, I love it! I was clueless about plants, so I couldn't tell what they were, but when I smelled that weird smell again, my attention narrowed in on them. To a novice like me, they all looked like the same kind of plant, so I couldn't tell them apart. Judging from their verdant leaves and bright blooming flowers, their owner probably took good care of them. Still, this was all only making the mystery even deeper. What was I doing here in this plant room? I could see a coat sitting folded on the sofa and recognized it as mine. I grabbed it and pulled it on. Then I opened the door and walked out of the green leafy room into a hallway, where I found even more potted plants. Where's the owner of this room? There were so many, they took up half of the walking space. I progressed down the hall to the front door, where I found my shoes lined up neatly. Seriously, what motive did they have? We're just gonna leave? Like, at least leave your phone number or like a note, you know? I stepped into my shoes and left the apartment. What? The frick? Huh? Briefly, I glanced over my shoulder at the number plate, 1403, no name listed. That is so weird! I'm telling you, it's phrase. I hate that. I really do. I walked down to the end of the hall and found an elevator, but decided to take the stairs instead, all the way down to the ground floor. Why is he not there? This is so creepy. As I passed through the lobby, I glanced over at the mailboxes. I spotted the one for 1403, but once again, there was no name listed. Ugh, that is creepy. Once I was outside, I looked back at the building. It was a high-rise condo tower, about 25 stories tall. Judging from that, this was probably District E. Unlike mainland Japan, high-rise condos in Shinkumi rented for cheap, especially in District E. Looking at the endless walls of them, I could easily imagine why. Back in its heyday, Shinkumi city officials ignored safety protocols and built enough housing for the new influx of residents. They were all built on unsteady foundations, and they were packed in so tightly you'd scarcely get any sunlight living there. Jesus! The buildings only got taller as you traveled closer to the ocean. Livability wasn't a high priority when the land itself was so limited. So in these parts, if you owned a single-story house, you were rich. Interesting. I pulled my phone out of my coat pocket and launched the GPS app to find out where I was. Murase Clinic was a 15-minute walk away. I quietly memorized my route, then dropped my phone back into my pocket and started walking. You're just going to accept that this happened? What? What? You know what? Whatever. You know what? We're going to leave this here, I guess. This weird ass thing happening. I'm telling you, it was probably phrase, right? Because of that wound we have. It's so fucking weird. Honestly, I would stake out that apartment. I would like call Ray and be like, dude, you have no idea what happened to me yesterday. Can you like give me support and we stake out this apartment? I really want to know who it was that picked me up and stuff. I don't know. Whatever. On this weird ass note, I'll see you in the next episode, baby. Unless you're too weirded out, which I could completely understand. Yeah, until then, don't drink absinthe. Get yourself a cup of water or something. Or a cup of good tea. You know? Anyway. Sorry, I'm disturbed. On that note, let's just end episode 3 here. I'll see you in the next one, alright? Bye-bye, everyone.